we take them through the questions, through the very way the question is posed, to a different space than where they're living right now. And as you said, then you see something you question it from a different perspective. Suddenly you see all kinds of new possibilities that back inside that box, inside that I'm just going to try harder kind of space, we lose all perspective on. How refreshing to have a coach come alongside you and say, hey, we don't have to question this from here. What if we went outside over here and got a different perspective?
And here's the sad news. I don't know if any of us have the ability in and of itself, because God did create us for community, to think outside our own box. I don't know about you, Chris, but I've tried to coach myself, and I can around some things, and hopefully you can coach yourself. But no matter how good a job I think I do, when I pose that same situation and I'm with my coach, inevitably I'm having one of those bonk yourself on the forehead moments, like, oh my goodness, that's so obvious. Yeah, if I thought about it that way, or, with that question, that opens up everything. And we all have blind spots, and they're called blind spots for a reason, because we don't know they're there. And so we really do need someone outside of ourselves to help us ask different questions and see it differently. Oh.
Yeah, Kim, I just hired my 7th coach that I've had. Over the period of the last 17 years, I've had now 7 different coaches. There for a little while, about a year or so, I actually had 2 different coaches that I was working with at the same time for very different aspects of my life. But yeah, I'm a coach. I train coaches. My wife is a coach. Sometimes she and I will say, hey, stop being my spouse for a minute. Coach me around this. And so we'll swap hats and we'll coach each other. But boy, do I find that working with a coach it's not because my coaches are so brilliant or they're dropping into my brain things that I didn't think of and they knew. It's because they are so skilled at helping me to draw out what is in fact in there in pieces and parts here and there in my being. But I'm not able to call it forth, and or even in hearing it called forth, I don't discern it. I can't chunk it down. I'm not following through and acting upon it. Somewhere along the process, Chris is not living out the fullness of how Chris was created, gifted, called, what he's going to have to give an account for before the throne. And when I'm with a coach, I am much more likely to do all of those things.
That's what I tell people. I will always have a coach. I live life better when I have a coach. It's just the bottom line.